Hey guys, this is SquiddyVon, and welcome to .GameTV. The Mass Effect series is one of the most popular sci-fi action RPGs of all time, and the first game in the series, Mass Effect, had some of the best RPG elements of all the games, with Mass Effects 2, 3, and Andromeda being a little faster paced with more action. The series, though, has a legendary status among gamers, and BioWare fittingly released a remaster of the entire mainline series with Mass Effect Legendary Edition in 2021, which featured all the DLCs available as well as various graphical improvements and gameplay fixes. In this video, I wanted to talk about 10 features from Mass Effect that we'd like to see in Bethesda's upcoming game Starfield when it releases later this year. I'll be talking about other sci-fi and RPG titles in future videos, so be sure to hit the subscribe button for those updates as well as tons of other Starfield related content. So let's get to the list of things that are in Mass Effect that we'd like to see in Starfield. Number 1, an epic storyline. Mass Effect has an incredibly epic and exciting story. Commander Shepard, the game's main character, is tasked from the get-go with saving the world in classic epic sci-fi fashion, fighting against catastrophic odds, all in the midst of this epic futuristic space war. Notice how many times I said epic there. The game gives no shortage of suspenseful and impactful moments, and the story is easy to follow but without lacking nuance. Bethesda is no stranger to the word epic, so I hope Starfield won't miss a beat here with the storyline that grabs us from the start and keeps us engaged until the main storyline is completed, and well after. Number 2, the Codex. One of the best parts of Mass Effect, or any RPG game really, is the lore, and Mass Effect has an amazing feature called the Codex that can be accessed at any time in the game from the menu system. The Codex allows for you to see a full description of the game's lore, cities, inhabitants, races, technologies, you name it. It's explained to you here. The main entries are even read to you from a voice actor. You know those NPC conversations you have that 5 minutes later you're like, wait, what was he talking about? Having an encyclopedia of game world knowledge at your fingertips makes the world feel more alive when you actually understand what's going on. I'd love to see Starfield have some kind of feature similar to the Codex, and I hope Bethesda will be implementing something similar to help players keep track of the game's lore. Previous games like Skyrim had so many amazing tidbits, stories, documents, conversations, but keeping track of the medieval names could be a nightmare, so having a place that explains it all would go a long way. Number 3, the companion system. Mass Effect had great companions, with good backstories, unique personalities, and different combat abilities. This system worked really well, because the abilities and weapon selection allowed you to choose companions customized to your playstyle or to what you wanted for the mission at hand. Commanding your squad mates is relatively easy, and if used correctly, the extra firepower can make quick work of most enemies. In the most recent Into the Starfield video released by Bethesda, which I'll be covering more in another video, the developers discussed companions and confirmed that they not only exist, but will also have good dialogue interactions to offer. My hope is that the companions can also be woven into the combat system more effectively than previous games, and Mass Effect has some great lessons to offer there. Number 4, Badassedness. Is that a word? Prestige, maybe? Whatever word best describes getting to feel like a badass. In the beginning of Mass Effect, your main character becomes a Spectre, which is essentially an uber-prestigious Black Ops space military outlaw badass whose primary job is doling justice and saving the world. It definitely has a cool factor, and I hope Starfield will have a similar story element. We don't know all that much about Constellation, the space exploration group you're a part of, which has been described as Indiana Jones meets League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, so I'm hoping Constellation could be a very prestigious group and can deliver on the badassedness I'm looking for. Number 5, sense of scale. Space is big, but Mass Effect had some big stuff in it. And looking off into the distance and seeing absolutely enormous objects, structures, and other elements can be visually stunning and give off a great sense of scale. Previous Bethesda games have had beautiful landscapes, but most of the cities and structures themselves weren't all that large. From what we've seen in the images and concept art Bethesda has released thus far, it certainly looks like Starfield is going to be a step in the right direction, and some cities and landscapes look pretty unbelievable. Hopefully Starfield takes it to the next level and we'll get some of those wow moments that Mass Effect could deliver. Number 6, ammo. In Mass Effect, my favorite part about the ammo is that there is no ammo, except for the types of ammo. Wait, let me explain. In Mass Effect, your weapon has essentially unlimited ammo, and an overheating mechanic would limit your rate of fire, so you couldn't just fire forever. You could also choose between the types of ammo you wanted, which had different bonuses, and could be used in different types of situations. Now, I'm not saying you have to make ammo unlimited for a game's ammo system to be good by any means, but please, Bethesda, please do not make me scrounge for ammo, holding on to every last bullet because I don't want to have to travel all the way back to the nearest store. Hopefully Starfield will have a survival or hardcore mode for those who want a more conservative and tactical experience, so those of us who want to go in guns blazing can go in guns blazing. Number 7. Lockpicking. In Mass Effect, you have containers all over the various levels, holding different types of items and equipment. Opening some of these required bypassing, which is essentially a little lockpicking minigame to open crates and thus get the stuff inside. Starfield wouldn't be a Bethesda game without some kind of lockpicking, as pretty much every Bethesda RPG game I can remember has some type of lockpicking mechanic. What I liked about Mass Effect, though, was that it was a fresh take on the idea of lockpicking. In the future, you don't have the same need for physical lockpicks as previous Bethesda games, so I'm hoping Starfield can come up with something original and futuristic, some kind of puzzle that can actually challenge players trying to obtain every last bit of loot. Number 8. Life-death decisions. Being a military commander means making tough decisions. In Mass Effect, playing as Commander Shepard gave players opportunity to make big decisions in the game's universe, some that could permanently eliminate companions and NPCs from the game. Having to make these kind of decisions really brought an extra weight to the RPG elements of the game, and made each playthrough feel that much more unique. We know Starfield will have companions, so I'm hoping the upcoming title will similarly allow us to control the fate of those we bring along on our journey. Let us completely destroy a faction for the game, or let us sacrifice a squad mate to complete the mission. Let the decisions we make in Starfield carry the same narrative weight that they did in Mass Effect. Number 9. Aliens. Aliens look awesome in Mass Effect. Way better than the humans in the game, in fact. There's a nice variety of alien races with unique traits, cultural lore, and philosophies. Some of them are scientific, others more militant, and some aliens aren't even humanoid but are just giant creatures existing in the world. We don't know many details on intelligent alien life in Starfield yet, but we do know there will be a variety of alien life forms, from plants and birds to these giant spider crab things. And in case you missed it, also check out my video on Aquila City, where I talk about how the walled city is surrounded by alien wolf raptors called the Ashta. So Starfield will certainly have some variety in alien life, but I'm hoping to get the same depth from those aliens that they did in Mass Effect. And number 10, Futuristic. Mass Effect is extremely futuristic, with giant space structures, cool-looking ships, artificial gravity, even the music is futuristic. I mean, just look at the galaxy map on your spaceship's bridge, this giant hollow image thing. It just looks so modern and epic. Mass Effect definitely takes a lot of scientific liberties, but the end result is a sexy, futuristic style perfect for a space RPG. We already know Starfield is going to be rustic in comparison, with the style direction having been described as NASA punk, and the game will have a truer sense of realism and science. But I hope Bethesda doesn't forget that this game is still set in the 2300s. And there are so many amazing inventions and capabilities that will undoubtedly be developed by humanity in the next couple hundred years. I hope the development team really let their imaginations run wild in dreaming up new technologies and systems that will really help a game set in the future feel like the future. And that wraps up the points I wanted to talk about in this video. I'd love to hear what you guys think about Mass Effect and what features from the game you hope will be available in Starfield when it releases later this year. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments your thoughts and if there are other topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. That's all for now, guys. I'll be back again soon with another Starfield video. Stay tuned. This is SquiddyVon, and this is .GameTV.